What's up, everybody? It's your girl Barbie J here with the recap and review of Tyler Perry's White House comedy drama, The Oval, Season 6, Episode 11. Seeing is believing. And I tell you, what I was seeing, I just couldn't even believe it. I believed it was happening, but I was like, why though? But anyway, before we get started, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Thank you. Now, this episode starts off how last week's ended, with Richard in handcuffs leaving the house, Nancy being a piece of work, out there yelling out there in front of, he stabbed his daddy, he put his hands on me, and Sam is like, Nancy, the neighbor's wife, I don't give a blah, 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 I don't care. Blah, blah, blah. She just all wild and whacked out. I'm just like, what is wrong with her? Somebody need to give her some more of that Rakaduchi drug so she could chill. She was nicer then. Anyway, Sam is trying to tell her, this is not you. You don't know me. You don't know me. Why don't you just go back and F the first lady? I think she waiting for you, the first lady. And here Dale back there. Ooh, what? What? Being gossipy and stuff. I don't know when they had Dale being so daggone gossipy. I thought he used to try to mind his business. And Sharon telling him, look, please don't say that. Oh, no, I have to talk about it, blah, 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 blah. So Sam said, Nancy. She's like, what? Sam said, okay, I'm just going to walk away. Yeah, come on, y'all. We going to that precinct and we going to make sure they lock his ass up. So Dale and Sharon are following her while Sam is telling Richard, don't say a word. Don't say nothing, Richard. Don't say nothing. Then we see Victoria laying in the bed in one of the guest rooms and she gets a phone call and it's Eli. She doesn't want to answer because the way he spoke to her, like she was common street trash, which she is. Then she get a phone call again and it's Donald asking where she at. She tells him and then he comes into the bedroom and lets her know that Hunter is aware of her affair with Eli. So first she was like, how? And then she was like, so what? I don't care. I'm not even bothered by it. It was just like that. And so she was saying she has her father, and he was like, yeah, and why hasn't your father done anything? She said, because I haven't called him. He said, why don't you call him and stuff? She's like, you want my father to be involved in this? So there was all of that with them. And then he got mad at her and frustrated with her because she's, like he said, impossible to deal with. She was like, y'all wanted to handle it on your own, handle it. Y'all act like y'all didn't need my help, so forget that. So he left out pissed at her. So now back over at Nancy and Richard's house, Sharon and Dale call themselves cleaning up. Nancy come in there and said, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all cleaning it up? I need to show the police what he did. And Sharon's like, he didn't do this. You did. No, he did. No, well, he's responsible, so leave it alone or something. She was like, Miss Nancy, you made this mess. He didn't. Then Sam come in there, try to talk to her. She won't listen to him. He's like, Nancy, please don't do this. If you do this, it's not going to end the way you think. And Nancy's like, what do you mean? He's like, look, I put a lot on the line. Oh, really? You did? He's like, please don't do this. She says, oh, what? Are you threatening me? He's like, this is not going to be good for you. And Nancy told Sam, he ain't God. And he said, nope, I'm not. But you used to know him. And I was like, whoa, no, he didn't go there for her. And she was like, don't you dare. I was like, that was the perfect line for her. He said, you used to be over here praising God and Christian songs and all this stuff, and you don't even do that anymore. She was like, get out of my house, get out of my face, all this stuff. She got very upset. Then he turned to Dale and said, Dale, are you going to really tell? And Nancy's like, he's going to tell everything because he saw it and all this stuff. He's like, Dale's like, I don't want to get involved. He was like, he said, but you are involved. He was like, no, he said, can I talk to you for a minute? No, I'm sorry. No, whatever. He said, okay, look at your phone. And he left. And Dale looked at his phone, and it was the guy who's been looking for him, sent the picture. But he told Nancy it was nothing, and Sharon that it was nothing. But Sharon knew he was lying, and she asked more information. And that's when he told her, this guy is looking for me, and he killed my parents. I thought Dale didn't know his parents was dead. I swear somebody put that on in my comment section, that Dale still didn't know that his parents was dead. But he knows that that guy killed them. So He said, you know what I'm doing? I don't want to be involved. I'm getting out of here. And Sharon's like, you need to tell the police. He said, tell the police what? That the Secret Service just sent a picture to my phone? He's like, they ain't going to help me. But you could try. Sharon be sound so dumb sometimes. I don't know, y'all. But it is her script. I'm sorry. But anyway, he said, I'm leaving. And she's like, you can't always be running. He said, that's all I know how to do. I'll be honest, I don't know whether to feel bad for Dale or not, because sometimes he be working my nerves as well. But why he still got that blood under his nose? Somebody tell me why Dale still got blood on his nose. So now this is the scene I didn't care too much for. We got Simone and Eli in the Oval, and he's telling her about the strike team he got coming in at 6 a.m. She's trying to let him know he shouldn't wait that long and give Hunter 10 hours to figure stuff out. He needs to just go in there while he got him caged like a dog upstairs. And he's like going against everything she's saying. She's really right. Let's be honest. She is right about what she's telling him. Then she's like, baby, you got to be strong and not freeze up. And he was like, what? Freeze up? I don't freeze up. He said, yes, you do. You freeze up when I was in labor. You freeze up at the debate. When we had those armed gunmen out there, you was frazzled. You know what to do. He said, what are you saying? I'm unfit? She said, I'm not saying that. She said, your behavior can be seen as unfit. I'm just telling you, gone are the days that you freeze up. And she was being supportive. If you ask me, she sounded very supportive. She wasn't yelling at him and stuff. She was just speaking to him. She was like, dear, honey, all this stuff. You know what I mean? So here we go with his male ego and stuff being attacked, I guess. So we back to you thinking you could do a better job at everything I could do. She's like, oh, honey, I could do it backwards in 6-inch stilettos. I'm a woman. Hear me roar. Rawr. No, she didn't say that. But she said she could do it backwards in heels. And he got all upset, got his drawers in a bunch, getting mad. I was like, what is with Eli? So they go back and forth a little bit more, and he goes, so how's Bobby? And she's like, F you, Eli. You know, and I'm sitting there going, why would you bring that up, Eli? You know good and damn well that you've been sleeping with Victoria many a times, telling Simone's personal business to this woman in bed who doesn't even like you. She was playing you. She thinks you're a freaking nerd, but you so dumb you don't even know that she feels that way. And now you're attacking your wife. So Eli calls Max in and asks, where's Bobby? And he said, I can get him for you, sir. He said, my wife's ready to go home and she wants him to take her. Something like that. She's like, really, Eli, you going to do this? So he gets Bobby to come in and he said, Bobby, 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 here, you could take my wife home and you could F her. And Simone said, you SOB, and slapped him. How dare you disrespect me like that? And then she walked out. And he turns around and looks at Bobby and Max saying, some kind of detail, y'all are. You just let her hit me like that? Brother man, this is a domestic mess. And you deserve that. They probably would have slapped you too. So he tells Bobby, you can go on and continue your affair. He said, yes, sir. He's like, what did you say? He said, I said, yes, sir. He was like, so Bobby was like, with all due respect, and he went off on the president. The president, the one that Max was trying to stop him. And Bobby says, sir, you have been very effing disrespectful to me, your wife, and my professionalism since we met. I said, oh, snap. He said, I'm good at my job. I'm one of the best agents here. And the fact that you keep accusing me of sleeping with your wife says more about you than it does about me. He said, I am not effing your wife, and I resent any statement claiming otherwise. It's causing me anxiety and causing a hostile work environment. I said, oh, we just heard that on Sisters, right? With the hostile working environment. I tell you, he told him. So Bobby said, may I be excused, sir? And he's like, get out. And so Bobby took off his earpiece and he left out of the Oval Office. Eli did not like being told off. But again, I gotta say, the nerve of him to try to get upset about something when he know he the one that was effing Victoria. Anyhow, Eli tells Max to leave too. Max goes out there and he's talking with Bobby. Bobby saying get somebody else to take her. He told Max, why don't you take her? Because he didn't ask me. So he's saying, why don't you just go take her home and just don't have sex with her? I was like, if he don't want to do it and want to keep himself out of that situation, why are you insisting upon it, Max? I don't like Max was being messy, I think, because he said, let's get Kane to do it. Agent Kane came over and he just a space cadet. They talking about we're the first lady. He's like, which one? You know, I was like, oh boy, there's only one first lady, honey. So He tells them Simone is in the kitchen. So that's where Bobby goes. Simone is in the kitchen. She talking to Priscilla, letting her know what just went down in the Oval with Eli. And then Bobby comes in there, letting her know that the motorcade is ready to take her home. And before he could leave out of there, in comes Lily, saying she was wondering why he was going into the kitchen, but now I know. And she's like, let's not let him leave, ladies. We're going to compare notes. And he's like, I don't have time for this ish. And then he tried to leave. And then Simone told him he couldn't leave. So he was a little annoyed. So Lily sat up on the table, told her, let me get comfortable. Asked Priscilla, did she have any popcorn? And she said, not for this epic drama. So she's like, who's going to go first? Lily asked. They said, well, since you have the floor. So Lily told the whole story, how she met Bobby at the airport and what Donald did and everything. And Bobby said, if you're going to tell a story, you should tell everything. So he told everything about how he saved her a couple of times and how he fell in love with her. And Simone was looking real uncomfortable and Priscilla was looking shocked and stuff. And she said, oh, please, that whole thing about him being in love with me. He said, I am in love with you. So he said he's still in love with her, y'all. He's still in love with her. And Simone was feeling kind of bad. You could tell. And Priscilla looked like she was enjoying the whole thing. So Bobby was saying, you left me and you chose him. And she was like, he had my family at gunpoint. And he didn't want to hear none of that at that point. But I was trying to understand why at that moment Simone rolling her eyes up in the head. He did have her family at gunpoint. So I don't know what she was thinking. But anyway, next thing, Bobby said, and you, talking about Priscilla. She said, oh, you giving me the floor? And so Priscilla told her story of why she got involved with him. But it was still like she slept with him when she really never slept with him. It made no sense. And I got tired of her keep saying that Sam was sleeping with Victoria. He slept with her. He didn't even sleep with her. He had sex with her one time and it was under 5 minutes. I'm just saying. And so now he says to Simone, and you, I'm sure you got something to say. And she's like, don't do that. Don't disrespect me. He said, well, y'all disrespected me. And they like, how? How are we disrespecting? And then he was like, the three of y'all were different circumstances. The three, she said. He said, the two of y'all were different circumstances. Priscilla said, the two. And he said, all of y'all were different circumstances, you know. And then he went into his sploot and basically told them off and then said, now may I wait for you outside? And Simone was like, okay. And then he left and slammed the door. They were in there giggling and stuff, you know. But Simone full of it. She full of it. She's a liar, a big liar. She's the only one that didn't tell the truth. So Priscilla was like, I guess he told us. And Simone was like, us? She said, oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't do anything. And Lily was like, yo, if she didn't do anything, she going to be doing something soon. She said, because I think that turned her on. And Priscilla was like, that turned all of us on, I think. And Simone trying to act all innocent like she didn't do nothing. I don't like her. I really don't, y'all. Y'all put it down in the comment section how y'all feel about Simone. I could care less about her. She up here forcing this man to have sex with her when he keeps saying no and she keeps throwing the coochie in his face. But now he can say no and she can't say nothing now because Eli gave him permission to continue his affair and effing her. So if Bobby say no now, what's she gonna do? Tell Eli, he said no, he won't F me. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Anyway, when Bobby goes into hallway to wait for Simone, Max is out there and he finds out that Priscilla and Lily are in there. And he's like laughing, thinking it's funny. And he's like, it's not funny. I want to hear your shit. He was like, no, it kind of is funny. He couldn't stand it. But as he started messing with Bobby, then Simone came out and said, you ready? I'm ready to go. And so she looks at him and she walks away and he just follows her, you know. But we all know when she get back to that residence, she going to want to have sex with him. But I don't care how much sex she gets out of him. He going to always love Lily. And I hope he makes a mistake and calls Simone Lily. I hope he does. Call her Lily, Lily, Lily. I love you, Lily. I want you, Lily. I need you, Lily. That'll mess Simone up. So now we have Dale calling Alan from a new number. And he's asking or begging to stay with him. He said, I've been seeing too much crazy stuff. I need somewhere to sleep tonight. Please, please, please. He's begging him. And, you know, Alan was saying no, but then Alan said, okay. But where Alan was messing up is he kept saying Dale's name. He said Dale's name 2 times. And if people are listening and you know people are listening in on your line, why would you even say his name? Because soon as he hung up with Dale, who comes in but Kyle talking about, oh, so he got a new number. And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, are you listening on me? So what I don't understand is why Dale keeps calling his job number and not his personal cell phone. Anybody? Put it down in the comment section because maybe I'm confused because it really makes no sense to me. So Kyle starts bothering Alan, saying, I'm going to get that new number. And is he there waiting for you? And next thing you know, Donald comes in and is who waiting for you? And he's like, nobody, sir. Oh, you keeping secrets? Their personal life is their personal life. It has nothing to do with you. And he said, no, sir, not keeping any any secrets. He said, that's just Kyle's overactive imagination or something like that. And he was like, why is that, Kyle? And Donald told Alan to leave and go home because he needs him back at 5 a.m. And he's like, thank you, sir. And he left. Then Donald was asking Kyle what was going on. And then he let Kyle know about what Eli wants to do in the morning. And he's like, can I help you with anything? He's like, no, not right now. Then Kyle asked Donald what Eli said about them in the Oval. He said, I don't think he mind. And Kyle was like, really? Is he into it? He said, I don't know if he's into it. He said, sure, you know. He's like, look, why don't you go on your post? And Kyle was like, now you trying to get rid of me? He said, yes, I'm trying to get rid of you. Goodbye, Kyle. So now we at the police precinct and they have Richard sitting in a room by himself. Sam comes in there, takes the handcuffs off of him. I don't know how he was allowed to do that, why he's sitting by himself. Maybe Sam hooked something up. I don't know. But anyway, Sam basically let Richard know that if she burns him, that he's going to have to burn Nancy. And Richard's like, okay, do what you have to do because you said you put a lot on the line to make this go away. And if she comes and does this now, it'll bounce back on him and it'll make Sam look bad. So he's like, but I want to make sure you okay with this. That's what Sam is saying. And Richard's like, yeah, do what you got to do. He said, you see what she doing to me. And Sam said, yeah, okay, I'm not going to let you fall. And so they fist bumped and he left out the room. And when he was leaving out the room, Nancy happened to see him leaving out and walking through the precinct and leaving. And she's like, what is he doing here? And Sharon said, well, he is in law enforcement, but I'm laughing because Dale ain't nowhere around and Nancy just knew Dale was going to help her. And she started complaining, I done bought him a car and did all this stuff. And Sharon was like, Miss Nancy, you didn't even know him like that. She said, I know, but it's a whole car. And then he left. She said, I wonder if I could take it back. I wonder if I could sue his ass. I said, poor Miss Nancy. She need help. And then Sharon was going to say something, but Miss Nancy didn't want to hear what she had to say because she was talking about her calming down. But then her phone rings, Sharon's phone rings, and it's Sam, and he's asking her a couple of questions. But the way she answers it, do you think that Nancy doesn't hear what you're saying? Yeah, uh-huh. All right, what does that mean? I'm like, come on. So then she hangs up with Sam, and she goes, who was that? She said, oh, it was my sister. Stop lying. It was Sam. I was like, Sharon, you should have stepped away and took the phone call. Why do you have to sit there? And at that moment, the assistant district attorney Jenkins came out to speak with Nancy. And then Nancy said, oh, can she come with me? She's a friend of the family or something like that. And so she let her come into the office with them while Nancy told her story. So the ADA was asking her, if you were right there and saw him stab him, how come you didn't tell the police? I was going to, but she said, but you didn't. She said, and then he came and assaulted me. You see the marks right here? She's like, I don't see anything, ma'am. I said, oh, Nancy, your story's falling apart, girl. So the ADA is like, I heard that he and his father didn't get along. She said, no, they didn't. She said, why is that? So we all know Nancy doesn't want to tell that because I had an affair with his father and had a child with his father, and then I started back the affair again. It's going to make her look bad. So she said, oh, it's a long story. And the ADA said, I got time. And Nancy's like, it really doesn't matter. She said, it does matter. She said, because your DNA was found in his underwear. Can you explain how your DNA got there? I said, oh my God, this was too funny for me. Sam told her, it's not going to end the way she think it's going to end. It's not going to be good for her. And I was laughing because the ADA kept saying, "Can you explain how your DNA got in your husband's father's underwear?" That sounds so funny. I'm sorry. And she said, "What does that have to do with him killing his father?" And ADA Deacon said, "You tell us." And then she shows Nancy a video of her. And I'm assuming it's a video of her in bed with Clarence. I don't know how they got that camera, how they got it. Nancy wanted to know. And the ADA said, like you said, it doesn't matter. So she was like, "How'd you get it?" "It doesn't matter." I said, "Oh my God, I was cracking up." So then the ADA showed her another video and she said, that's not me. This is a doctored video." She said, "No, what it is evidence. You're under arrest." I said, "Oh my God." Sharon just sat there. There ain't nothing she could do. And the policeman came in there ready to take Nancy to jail. And so that's how the episode ended. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I mean, I got a kick out of certain parts of it, not all of it. Some parts really bothered me. But give me your 2 cents down in the comment section, and I will see you all in the next video. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's your girl Barbie J saying peace.